With more space engineers, and we have a meteor swarm inbound according to the AI, but not seeing it yet. Alright, so yeah, we've basically gotten a bunch of things done off camera. Hopefully our defenses are actually armed and ready to go. Guess we'll find out shortly. But first, we have to get started. So let's go. Hi all, welcome back. Alright, so, yeah. My recording software decided it didn't want to continue recording, so I just lost about a half hour worth of footage. Oh, which is actually rather sad because we did a bunch of work. And so let me walk you through what we've done, bring you up to speed. Oh, so we now have an ore detector that we've built in here. We built while we were in transit to the to Mars. As you can see, there's a antenna that's just flickering on and off down there, which means our probe, looks like our probe survived. I'm not quite sure how much of it survived, but we'll find out when we get there. We did actually do a bit of work on the ship before we took off. One of the things that we did is we moved everything, transferred everything from the base over to the ship. It showed some of what we have done on the base previous. Basically, we now have cannons everywhere on the base, so that's all protected. The 3D printer now has lights on it, and what I will probably do is we may do a let's say a reconnaissance drone to the moon, to the Europa moon, to show you what's been going on over there. So one of the things that I was doing is on the way in, we were stopping to check asteroids looking for uranium. Have not found any yet, which is unfortunate. I would like to find some. But yeah, we know that it's basically the rarest material in the game now. So, you know, I've had a couple of people tell me that, and I'm starting to seriously believe it. Okay, that's getting a little close. Let's see, do we have any... Not overly worried about gathering stone now, because we can just, you know, fly over and gather some. Alright. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna head a bit towards that polar cap. Hopefully as we get closer, that antenna will stay up for us to use as a landing indicator. One of the things that I had thought about doing was trying to map out where the light, like the rotation of light from, because for those who don't know, in Space Engineers, your sun, if you have the sun rotation turned on, the sun is part of the skybox that, you know, is around the wrapper around your playfield. So one of the things that I was talking about doing was trying to figure out on, say, like Mars, where does, hey, look, we're into gravity. Where does the transition point for night to day, you know, where does it pivot on the planet? And I was thinking about building my base there, so that we would have basically constant solar power. So let's go ahead. We're gonna align ourselves to the gravity well. Our thrusters are actually turned on. I'm gonna check my ice supply, make sure we're still good. We are. And we're basically heading in the direction we need to be heading. That sounded expensive. Alright. And so what we did As we've added a bunch of cameras to the ship. We now have one on the upper hydrogen tank. We have one at our landing gear, that's our forward landing gear. The port side or left side, starboard side or right side, and a rear view camera. So we actually can see all around us now if we need to, which is good. It's helping. Alright, and we want to back here. We are going to exit that camera view, I think. You can almost see, it looks like you can almost see the impact crater. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn these on. We know we're okay in quarter gravity. I don't know what we're going to do in full gravity. So we're going to be a little careful with that. Alright, so should be interesting. Been a while since we've been on the Mars planet. So I'm seeing a lot of stone outcroppings. Pretty much directly ahead of us. You can see some of the larger crater faces. Let's see here. It will be interesting to see what is going to happen with because we still have the meteor star going, and I haven't gotten a meteor warning since I don't know now, about 45 minutes ago, I think. Looks like we're starting to get out over our skis here a little bit. Let's bring this back. Okay, so we're at what was normal gravity for us over on Europa. And so we are going to start the leveling off process here. Let's swing ourselves down just a little bit. We've got thrusters firing in multiple directions right now, keeping us mostly on course. Is that the Olympus Mons there? I think that might be... Do you see Olympus Mons? I didn't think it was this far north. And then for those who don't know, in-game, the Mars-like planet is actually modeled after the real-world Mars. So you will see some familiar terrain if you happen to be into that sort of thing. I want to make sure we're able to stay under control, especially at that 50%. At half a G, I want to make sure that we're still good. So we're slowing. Okay, so we are still under control. That's a good thing. Alright. At 75G is our next, our 0.75G. 75 Gs, could you imagine that? Sheesh. There we go. So definitely slowing down less quickly. Alright, so what we're going to do, let's see if we go just thrusters. Alright, so we are accelerating. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to use our main thrusters when we actually approach. Did we just lose the antenna? Seriously? I think we just lost that antenna on the probe. Alright, so we're going to start bringing this in a bit. Using thrusters in multiple directions to bring us back under control. We're still at 3,000 meters, they're fine. This does mean that in order for us to take off, we're going to have to be at an angle, though, so that we can keep our main thrusters for boost assist. Alright, so now comes the fun part of trying to land this thing. Alright, let's bring it to a complete stop. We're as close to a complete stop as we're gonna get. Yeah, see, we don't have enough vertical thrust to keep us airborne. Which is fine. Let's get up to about... that should be good. Now the question is where did that probe land? Now we're going to be able to find a spot that's flat enough for us to convert. You know what's going to be funny is we make it all the way here, and then I crash into the ground at some ridiculous rate of speed, right? Alright, so... we do seem to be sinking a bit. Okay. Let's see if we can bring us over to an area that's a little bit more flat than what we're at right now. Because this is not going to be a soft landing, I have a feeling. What is that? What is that? Is that our probe? I'm wondering if that's our probe. I think that's our probe right there. That looks like, those look like solar panels. Alright. Yeah, that's our probe. Look at you. Little bugger survived. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Holy crap. I saw some magnesium. magnesium and nickel. Oh, okay, so ah, crap. This is gonna hurt. Yep, this is gonna hurt a little bit. Alright. So okay, so we're locked. We're down on the ground. I'm kind of curious as to just how much damage did we just do to the ship? Let's close this thing up and find out. Oh my word. Yeah, we'll leave that open. Surprisingly, not too bad. It looks like the landing gear took it. But more importantly, I'm gonna go see this thing. Look at it, it survived. That is awesome. I can't believe this thing survived. Oh, what was that? I really can't believe this thing survived. It looks like it took a couple of, well, at least one near, oh no, it took a couple of near-miss asteroid strikes, it looks like. One over here. Ooh, what are you? You're not nickel. What are you? Are you platinum? Platinum. Nice. Not that the rest of this really matters, but you know, it's always nice to find it. And you're stone, you're stone, you're all stone. Okay. But yeah, the fact that this thing survived, that is awesome. Look at that. It looks like it ran out of power. I'm guessing the thrusters probably kept draining the power. Batteries are offline. Yeah, batteries are completely depleted. Alright, so not connected to any inventory because there's no power, which means we have to wait for this thing to have power again in order to move stuff around. That's fine. It is it's rather awesome that this thing survived. Oh, you know what we can do? We can build a monument. Take that out. So what we'll do is we'll build a base, and we'll build a some kind of grapple system to pick this thing up, and we'll mount it somewhere as a testament to our species' ability to survive anything. Yes? Alright. Of course, this thing isn't getting back off the ground, but that's okay. We'll use it as a mobile base, well, an immobile mobile base. For at least for the time being. Oh, alright, let's close you. Alright. And we want the forward landing view. Alright, so what we're going to do, let's try to get this thing a little bit better down here. It's a little bit better, not by much. See, the most important thing is that we can use this area. Yeah, that's better. But the most important thing is that we can use this area as a building site. It would have been nice to have like iron or something down here, but it does make me wonder, are you going to be able to fly as you are? Yes, you are, actually. Mostly. Oh. Okay, that's bad. Oh, come on, buddy. I forgot the inertial dampeners were turned off. Oh. Okay, so we are actually mobile on the planet. That's not too bad then. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring you down. Hopefully safely. There we go. Okay, so we do have mobility on the planet. That's a good thing. I'm glad we made it down, actually. I already miss having limitless amounts of ice. I have a feeling that is going to come back to bite us. But for now, I think we're okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is let's go power off some of the unnecessary things in the ship, because we want to have it store as much power as possible so that we are not burning hydrogen fuel if we don't need to be. That stuff there. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead. Let's grab the... we have a group set up for lights. Go ahead and throw that over here. And just to show you how much power these things take, it adds about a minute to our life support. That's a good thing, right? Most importantly, let's turn off that beastie. Maybe not control. There we go. And that didn't really add anything, so okay, we'll leave lights on then. It's fine. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna close that up. Close that up. There we go. And I think we're gonna take the little mining craft out, do a little scouting, get an idea of where may be a good area to set up a base. And we're gonna have to retrofit this thing again. Wondering, I may need to take the cameras out and put large atmospheric thrusters on this thing, because I think it takes 4, it may be 6, to lift this beast. So what we'll end up doing, or what we'll end up needing to do, is do a little retrofit work in order to get this thing mobile while we're in an atmosphere. Alright. And I'm thinking we're going to do large atmospheric thrusters on either side this way. maybe mount one here for reverse. And then we'll wedge in some lift thrusters and some laterals and stuff. I mean, I could use the hydrogen as navigational thrusters. That might not be a problem, but we definitely need to deal with the lift quotient, and I'm thinking that the lift is going to be at least 4, if not 6 large thrusters. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do a quick cut. I'm going to take the little ship out, scout around a little bit. Actually, how are you doing for materials? We may need to okay, let's do it this way. We may need, whoop, really? Come on. No, I guess you got enough ice. You got enough ice to last for a little while. Should be okay. As long as I don't have to turn the hydrogen thrusters on, or the hydrogen engine. So I think we're going to go ahead and grab some ice. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick cut, and we will be right back. And we're back. So, yeah. Haven't really found anything useful within about 7 kilometers or so. Now, one of the things that I did do is we put in some emergency lighting. That way we can actually see what's going on in here at night, because it gets pitch black even with everything turned, well, with all the lights turned off. Trying to keep power up and running as much as possible. We are, what, just about 18% total stored power. I basically have the hydrogen engine running all night, trying to get some of our batteries charged. In fact, one hour. Okay, so a bunch of something is running. Oh, you know what? It's probably the oxygen generators, because I think they're recharging the hydrogen tanks. Oh, let's take a look really quick. Yep, that's what it is. Alright. You're almost done. You'll be, they'll be refilled in a couple of minutes. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. We've got a rather large amount of ice. In fact, how much ice do we have left? We've actually burned through quite a bit of it. Let's see here. 100K there, so we're at 3 million, roughly 3 million left in the storage tank. We should be okay for a little while. I do want to throw some of the parts back in here. Oh, no. Wrong one. Platre. Alright, so there you go. Alright. So let me show you what we've been working on this evening. Make sure everything's closed up. Alright, so sun is finally coming up. What I did is added a bunch of solar panels to the ship. So we now have 2 solar panels in 3 directions. So hopefully that will be enough to help assist the charge rate of the batteries. Because what we're running into, here we go. So what we've been running into is that we're running out of power. This ship, actually, when we came back from the scouting, the ship was underpowered, like completely off. So thankfully I keep one battery set up where it's fully charged all the time, mainly to basically have a jump start battery in case I need it. With the hydrogen engine, you don't actually have to have power, you just have to have the engine there. If you have the engine and an O2 system, you need enough power to have a little bit of hydrogen, but once you have a little bit of hydrogen, you turn the engine on, you're good to go. Actually, I think you can get away with it without having anything. Like, you could have no engine, like no hydrogen tanks or anything, as long as you had ice in the whatever converts, was it your survival kit or an O2 generator? Basically something that allows you to pull hydrogen. Once you have hydrogen set up, you're usually okay. Alright, so I need to check. Do you have any ice left? Do you still have some ice? You're burning through it fairly slowly. Let's check our tanks. Tanks are actually not too bad. Okay, so yeah, we're at 68%. And like I said, it's been running pretty much all night. I'm hoping that we'll get some sun here shortly and some of our things will be powered up. Now, one of the things that I do want to set up, and I've already gone ahead and made that, I've started to make that change, is I took the connector off of the aft portion of the ship, and I'm going to run a conveyor network out here a little bit to move the connector back. One of the things that I want to do though is I want to have a spot to dock up the mining craft, otherwise I have to manually move things, and yeah, that's not something that's going to happen. So we want to make sure that we have the materials that we need in order to get all of this done, and we're actually okay for right now. I do want to grab, let's go into the plates, all that stuff I just put away. Let's grab those, grab those, grab those, and those. Should be everything. Okay. Oh, no, I need regular plates as well. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do is, let's go ahead. Because this is what I'm thinking here. Actually, you know what? Because we're thinking put a connector on here, that ship. Oh no, actually. Because the idea is that I want to have it set up so the little mining craft can come in and dock facing forward. Mainly because of the fact that I want the connector to be far enough back that we'll actually be able to connect to, say, you know, like the space elevator, with where we don't have to worry about the engines getting in the way. But I do need to attach things. Maybe if we did... If we did this, maybe? Instead of that, let's go... maybe like that. We go like a so. Oh, that might work. Let's see how this looks. That could potentially work. Now, these are things that we never really intended for the ship to have on it. Which I'm not sure if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing yet. We will find out shortly, I have a feeling. Alright, so if we have all of that, that gets braced in there. And then we do a connector. Connector there. And connector there. I don't know if that's going to be far enough for the mining craft, though. Let's go find out. It's got enough juice for now, right? So... idea is that we have this thing set up. Ideally, that might actually fit. I don't know how tight this fit's going to be though. Huh. Alright, that might work. Let's see. Yeah, that should actually work, believe it or not. Okay. And you know our rule of thumb. Control panel. We want this to be disabled. We're going to call this minor connector. That way we know when we have everything hooked up. Alright, what did we do? Not quite far enough, and we need to bring the nose up. Okay, so that should hopefully get us a little closer. That also means that the rear-facing camera is going to have to come out. And can I get away with... Trying to think of how I want to do this. Because I want the bracing to make sense. So if we do... If we go... Can we get away with that? So if we do this... Obviously, we're not going to be able to do that while the ship is docked. But I'm wondering... if we go ahead and move this beast out for a second. We do something like this. That's fine. Now we can turn that off. You should be mostly level. Your nose is still down, but that's okay. So we're good. I know. I just said it was okay. Let's try that. Hey, look at that. Its nose is still down a little far, but it's... We'll leave it. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. Okay. So now that is tied in. That means we can actually charge everything off of a single system now. That's actually very important. You are missing what? Just steel plates. Okay. Come here, you. Let's grab some steel plates really quick. Let's get this thing welded up. And I'm thinking I may leave this in here, and then do I just want to take that straight back maybe? Because I could, if we're trying to make it, keep it consistent here. do something like this. I'm kind of liking that without being welded up. Alright, so that at least gets us a little bit more of a secure location for the small ship. Keeps it out of the way. How are you doing for power? You are, look at you, fully exposed. That's good. Alright, so you are coming up. Alright, so you are technically coming up in the easterly direction. Alright, so if you're looking at east, that means you are going to set your what? East southeast from our location, so you should be west northwest. So it'll be setting in that direction. Okay, I think that's... yeah, I think that's gonna work. Alright, so we have been fortunate so far. Haven't seen any asteroids or meteors, I should say. Man, it's hard to believe it's 100K out to where we were up there. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to continue looking around using the little scout ship that I'm standing on currently to do some more scouting in the general area, see if we can find a place that's suitable for setting up a base. We do have decent resources in, I don't want to say the immediate area, but close enough that it's not too much of an inconvenience. And looking at... make sure, actually, yeah, I got a little bit of fuel left. Looking at the snow-like patches that you're seeing here on the ground, those are resource markers. So we've got a lot of stuff in the area. Hopefully, some of it's iron. That looks like that may be probably our best direction to scout next. If we can find enough resources in the immediate area, what I will end up doing is we'll take, you know, an area like, say, this area here or something, and we'll start mining into it in order to build a little bit of a place for us to hide while we're working. I do want to build, that'd be really nice. I was kind of heading that way. I'm wondering... that looks like that might be... I wonder if that's the Olympus Mons over there. An alien planet. And that's the Earth-like planet there. So I think that's going to be our next destination, but I need to get a base set up here. And then what we'll do is, once we have a base set up here, we'll tie it to that base with a laser antenna. And then we will build a second laser antenna and point it towards the Earth-like planet. Maybe even build a third one and go for the alien world. But yeah, I'm thinking we're going to do bases on each of the planets. Of course, we are pretty close to the polar cap. Oh crap, I just realized. Let's get back down here quickly. That was almost comical. In a bad way. Wow.
Critical.
Yes. Yes, Betty, I know. Thank you. There you go. Okay. Whew. That was close. Come on. Thank you. Let's get this thing charged up. Alright, so I think we have a game plan. What we will do is I will finish exploring this area, see if we can find a little bit more resource-wise. I'm wondering if maybe, because it is the Mars planet, No atmosphere. Well, it's got more of an atmosphere than the Europa does, but still not a whole lot of atmosphere here. And I'm thinking what we may do is build an atmospheric craft to fly around on this planet with, because we can go full electric here. We weren't able to do that up on Europa. Europa, no bueno. The low gravity, no atmosphere makes it very difficult for you to actually do anything on that planet. So yeah, I'm thinking what we're gonna have to do is we'll build probably a small scout craft. Put a might even be worth go ahead and just put down a refinery and full assembler somewhere. Yeah, that might be worth it. Alright, so we'll figure it out. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you liked this episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe, especially if you're new to the channel or you just want to do something nice for me today. If you are curious and interested in staying up to date, there's that little bell next to the subscribe button. Make sure that is active, otherwise you may not get notifications. And to be fair and honest, you probably won't get them anyway because YouTube. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your week if I don't see you before then. And as always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Okay, so maybe something over in the Footlands area over there. Definitely going to have to retrofit this thing at some point.